it's a noble thing to have compassion for the less fortunate. But are bums less fortunate? Let's talk about that now. When you see a bum and you mistake them for somebody that's needy, then you're taking advantage of yourself on their behalf. So let me give you the story of my favorite bum. Not literally. He was self-proclaimed your favorite bum, no matter who he was talking to. So he was trustworthy for a bum. Back when I used to work on an ice cream truck, if I needed change, I could give him $20, ask him to go get 2 rolls of quarters, and he would come back every single time with the 2 rolls of quarters. And then I would give him a tip. Until this one day, my friend, who's the one that told me about this bum, got taken for a ride. So he passed away, my friend, died in a car accident. He was the only person I knew that had a horrible sense of humor like mine. As a matter of fact, when something bad would happen to one of us, the other would celebrate. Like I said, he died in a car accident, so I obviously won that game. But it was fun. Anyway, one day, he had something wrong with his tooth. There was a hole in it or something. Well, obviously there was a hole in it, and you'll see why it's obvious in the rest of the story. But he decided, instead of going to a dentist, he was going to go to Home Depot, buy some putty, and stick the putty in the hole in his tooth. And that was going to fix everything. Obviously it didn't. So it got infected, his whole face was swollen up, and he had to go to the dentist now to fix what he should have gone to the dentist for to begin with. Anyway, so he got back from the dentist, went straight to work same day, and got hungry at some point in the day. Couldn't eat solid food. What do you know? Here's the bum. So my buddy gives me $6. Obviously this was a long time ago because this was in Manhattan, and everybody knows how the inflation is, and everybody knows how expensive Manhattan is. Put those two together, I bet you that soup would be about $20 now. But he gave the guy $6 and sent him to go get him soup. Guy never came back. And he's sitting there sticking his head out the window, looking for him. Obviously the bum doesn't have a cell phone, he's a bum. So he's waiting and waiting and waiting and expecting him to show up because he always does. Except this one time. So now my friend, he was a pacifist. Big time pacifist. Not soft at all. No fear in him. Just didn't like violence. And it makes total sense too, because where he's from in Colombia, during the time he was there, it was really bad. This is when Pablo Escobar was in charge, and if anybody knows that name, you know it was not easy to live out there at that time. Then when he moved here, he was about 8 years old, and he ended up in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, right around the time of the riots. So really batting 1,000. Later on in life, he would always be the one to try to talk people out of fighting, always. So when he came to me, explained to me the story about how he caught the bum at a light, asked him what happened, and the bum said, "It wasn't me, it was my evil twin brother." To hear my friend say, "The next time I catch this guy, I'm going to smack the shit out of him." The only reason I didn't do it this time is because there was a cop standing right there. I was in shock. I could not believe what I heard. So fast forward, I want to say almost a year goes by, and now I see the bum. Totally at this point do not remember what he did. But what stuck out in my head was that my friend, the pacifist, said he was going to smack the shit out of this guy the next time he saw him. Now, I would have liked to have given him the satisfaction. So, if it were possible, I would have called him, told him where to go, and that would have been that. But my friend was way too far away. The bum was on the move. He wasn't going to be able to make it in time. So I decided to deliver the message for him. So I'm walking around with my cousin and my friend Mike, walking around the city, and doing different things, making a day of it. Pause. And I see the bum. Without hesitation, I approach him. Didn't say anything to my cousin or my friend. And anybody that knows me knows it's hard to tell when I'm joking around or if I'm being dead serious. So I walk up to the bum. Hey, what's going on, man? He goes to shake my hand, but I didn't put my hand out. He's like, hey, why you don't want to shake my hand? I say, you know why I don't want to shake your hand. So I don't know if he confused me for my friend or, if he thought I was there for the story. I don't know what happened. But he says, I told you, it wasn't me. It was my evil twin brother. So now I got offended that he would tell me such a, BS story. So instead of continuing on with the conversation and try to do any convincing, I simply explained to him. Now keep in mind, bums make a lot of money. People feel bad for them, and that's why they make so much money. But some of them live in penthouse apartments, drive fancy cars. This one lady was actually on the news for that, on the cover of the newspaper, for living in a penthouse apartment, driving a Mercedes-Benz, and every day getting dressed up all dirty to go out there and beg. So, if you don't know that, what I'm about to tell you is going to sound ridiculous. But if you know that, you understand. I told him, listen, I'm not here to talk. Empty out your pockets right now, or I'm going to smack the shit out of you. He pulls 30 cents out of his pocket, a quarter and a nickel. Like, this is all I got, I swear. So I open hand smacked him. And it wasn't as hard as I could. But at this point, I had been going to the gym for about 8 months straight, really consistent, and I'm not a gym person. I have good genetics. I've always been stronger than I should be for someone that eats and does not work out the way that I do. But never into the gym. At this point, I was going consistently. So I really didn't know my own strength. And when I smacked this guy, he was a lot smaller than me, don't get me wrong, but I was still shocked the way he fell. His knees didn't bend, anything. He fell like a tree. And believe it or not, and like I said, this was a long time ago. This was even before smartphones. This is when not everybody had a cell phone, and there were still pay phones everywhere. This guy pulled a cell phone out to call the police on me. So now, obviously, we didn't stick around. As we're leaving, my cousin and my friend asked me, wait, what happened? What did that guy do? What was that all about? My answer? To be honest with you, I don't remember. Let me call my boy and find out. They're like, huh? Yeah, my boy was not even like that. Told me next time he sees this guy, he's going to smack the out of him. But it was so long ago, I can't remember what he did. And now they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Understandable, I guess. So I called my buddy. Hey, remember that bump? Yeah, wow, what happened? I just saw him. I smacked him for you because I knew you were going to be able to get here in time. What did he do again? That's when he told me the story about the soup. That's when I told my cousin and my friend. And they said they understood, but I don't think they did.
Ay, Douglas Antonio,